Picture this. You've been grinding in the library for, well, days. You finally find it. I mean, the absolute perfect case for your legal memo. The facts align beautifully, the holding supports your argument exactly, and you're just ready to drop that citation in and call it a night. But then, that ultimate law student nightmare creeps in. Is your perfect case actually still good law? Welcome, fellow legal detectives, to this explainer. Today, we aren't just talking theory. We are building a bulletproof 2 a.m. case validation strategy. We're going to explore exactly how to use Westlaw's tools so you never have to second-guess whether that brilliant memo you just drafted relies on an overturned anchor case. Here's our quick syllabus for today. We'll cover the legal research dilemma, decoding those KeyCite flags, diving into a real-world case study, harnessing Headnotes, and finally, a concrete validation workflow. Section 1, the legal research dilemma, navigating the minefield. We've literally all been there. You find the exact case you need, but the sheer terror of a cold call from your professor makes you terrified to cite it without knowing its current validity. The law is this living, breathing thing, right? It changes. Courts overrule previous decisions, statutes get amended, and lower court rulings get reversed. So before you confidently drop that citation into your brief, we really need to talk about Westlaw's KeyCite Flags. Honestly, I want you to treat these flags exactly like a traffic light for your legal arguments. They are your first and, frankly, your most crucial warning system. Section 2. Decoding KeyCite flags, red versus yellow. Let's see what these warning signals actually mean for our research. Okay, on Westlaw, you're primarily dealing with two major indicators. A yellow flag is your caution signal. It basically means the case has some negative history, but it hasn't been completely thrown out. It might have been distinguished, maybe criticized, or limited. A red flag, on the other hand, is a hard stop. It means severe negative history. This breakdown really highlights the difference. Notice how a yellow flag just means caution. The case hasn't been completely overruled, but a subsequent court might have looked at it and said, hey, this reasoning doesn't apply to these slightly different facts. And that is exactly what distinguished means. But a red flag, that means explicitly overruled or reversed. You absolutely must stop and reassess immediately. Section 3. Case study, Bennett v. Stanley. To see this all in action, let's open up a real case file. We're going to look at a landmark 2001 Ohio Supreme Court decision, Bennett v. Stanley. This case is just a perfect example of why thorough case validation is absolutely necessary. Now, the facts of Bennett are tragic. A 5-year-old child and his mother drowned in their neighbor's abandoned swimming pool. The neighbors had let rainwater accumulate to over 6 feet, removed the fencing, and basically let it become pond-like. Prior to this case, Ohio law owed trespassers, even child trespassers, no duty of care beyond refraining from willful and wanton misconduct. But in Bennett, the Ohio Supreme Court formally adopted the attractive nuisance doctrine. They literally overruled a century of prior law to protect child trespassers, and they even extended a duty of ordinary care to the adult rescuer, the mother. Westlaw presents negative history right at the top. If you pull up Bennett today, right near the title, you are going to see a yellow flag warning, distinguished by Sutton versus Wheeling and Lake Erie R.R. Co. Now, if you're a law student relying on Bennett, your heart might drop a little seeing that. Section 4. Harnessing Westlaw Headnotes, the magnifying glass. Remember our traffic light rule? Yellow means caution, not necessarily stop. Finding that yellow flag is just the beginning. As you know, a judicial opinion rarely just discusses one single thing. It addresses multiple, distinct legal issues. A headnote is basically a concise summary of one specific legal issue from that case, pulled out and numbered by the editors. Headnotes break the whole complex case down into its component parts. They act as a filter so we can see exactly which point of law was flagged. Let's look at Bennett's Headnotes. Headnote 5, for example, isolates the specific ruling where the Ohio Supreme Court adopted the attractive nuisance doctrine for child trespassers, referencing the restatement section 339. It outlines the specific liability for physical harm to children trespassing caused by an artificial condition. Meanwhile, if we scroll down the exact same case to Headnote 11, it covers a totally different issue. This headnote isolates the holding that if the mother entered the property to rescue her child from that attractive nuisance, the landowners owed her a duty of ordinary care as a rescuer, two completely distinct legal holdings wrapped up in one single judicial opinion. So here is the crucial point, what we call the rule of context. A subsequent court might criticize or distinguish the attractive nuisance holding, maybe saying, hey, it doesn't apply to a natural pond, while leaving the adult rescuer holding perfectly intact. If your legal memo is about an adult rescuer and the yellow flag only applies to the attractive nuisance headnote, your perfect case is actually still good law for your specific argument. What a relief, right? Section 5, the validation workflow, a detective's guide. Let's pull all of this together into a highly efficient strategy you can use for your own memos. This is your step-by-step guide to navigating flags safely. Step 1, check the flag. Identify if it's red or yellow. Step 2, don't just give up on a yellow flag. Click into the negative treatment tabs to verify the impacted holding. See exactly which headnote took the hit. Is it the headnote you're relying on? And step 3, analyze the jurisdictional context. Let's talk about that last step real quick because it is vital. Did a lower court issue the negative treatment? A different state entirely? Context is absolutely everything here. Remember, if a lower court or a court in a completely different state distinguished your case, it carries far less weight than if your jurisdiction's highest court limited the ruling. You always have to evaluate if a case is still persuasive for your specific judge. The next time you're grinding in the library and a yellow flag pops up on your anchor case, seriously, don't panic. You are a legal detective now. Follow the workflow, check the headnotes, and understand the context. So ask yourself, will you let a simple yellow flag ruin your brief, or will you read the headnotes to save your argument?